It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watched, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
And I'm Neil.
Last night, we watched episode 4 of The Amazing Race Season 24. The show aired on Sunday, March 16th, 2014. Here's what we thought about it.
This was a crazy one.
This
was absolutely nuts. So, we're down to 8 teams.
Okay.
They're still in Malaysian Borneo, which I guess I don't mind because this was a little bit more interesting than China.
Okay.
Their first destination was the roadblock at Prince Philip Park.
Yes.
And what they had to do, one of the team members basically had to do a modified version of that blanket toss. You know, you get people in the park and...
Dude, this was just not easy.
No, it didn't look easy at all. So basically it was a bamboo trampoline where 8 guys were around the edges and there was one person in the middle trying to jump up to the ceiling to catch a flag, which was height adjusted depending upon the jumper's height. Jet and Cord got there first.
Yeah, they did.
He finally made it after 47 jumps.
Yeah, that was insane. But I couldn't help but thinking through the whole thing, was it because his jeans were still wet from the last challenge?
That could be. All we do know for sure is that casting for White Men Can't Jump 2 began immediately following the roadblock.
Right? Oh, poor Cord. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, but, they finished first and they were able to move on to their next destination. Big Easy took a big tumble.
Big Easy wasn't the only one who took a big tumble.
Oh, my goodness.
The thing about the whole bamboo trampoline thing is that there's no give. Trampolines catapult you. This was like trampolining on a board or something.
It literally was, but that's what the 8 dudes around the edge were for. They were there, bouncing up, and they would count off. They were supposed to provide the spring to elevate you up to the flag tied to the ceiling.
I know, and maybe I'm just not a real physics person, but I still don't see how you would be able to catapult with 8 guys around the edge if the thing is still flat.
Well, yeah, I know, but once again, it has a little give. There was some wood. It looked like some logs underneath, and Jessica, the bamboo gave her some nasty hooves.
That was bad.
Oh, wow.
I felt terrible for her.
She was toe up from the floor.
She was toe up from the floor up. And her face, like when she finally grabbed the flag and then she fell on her butt for like the 50th time. Yeah. I just felt so bad for her.
I hope after they bandaged her up, I hope and pray that they just dropped that flag about 6 inches.
Oh my God.
Because she kept just missing. Her hand would pass and the flag would go, not this time.
But how frustrating.
Yeah. So I give it to Jessica for her determination.
Yes.
Brenchell came to the realization since their first race that this time they actually needed to focus on winning the race.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Brenchell, again, I just don't have enough things to say.
Yeah. Note to Rachel, leave the pantyhose at home.
Okay.
When you're on the race, because I'm sorry, nobody's looking at your legs.
What is this with the whole pantyhose thing?
Pantyhose, sequin shorts. And the little maternity headband, But is this an epidemic that I just didn't get the memo about? I mean, we have not seen pantyhose with anything for years. Yeah, well, some people, hard habits, it's a hard habit to break, I guess. Much less on a race. Yeah. In your sneakers. Like, thank what? You. I just don't get it. I mean, does she not shave? Is she concerned about wind resistance and drag? Is it cellulite? She wants to, hold it all in? Look, she weighs about $110. I know. So. It doesn't make any sense to me. So after they finished the roadblock, they flew to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yes. There were 3 flights. There were 3 seats on the first and the last flight and 2 on the little middle flight. Yeah, I felt so bad about this. And this goes to show that this race is anybody's game at any time for any reason. Exactly. Jet and Cord, the Cowboys, the Afghanimals, and Dave and Connor were on the first flight. Margie and Luke and the Globetrotters were on the second flight. And then the Country Girls, Jessica and John, and Brenchell were on the third flight. However, the second flight got delayed 50 minutes
And so now it was leaving 5 minutes after what was the third flight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's anybody's game at any time.
Yeah.
So once they arrived in Kuala Lumpur, they traveled to the detour, which was held at the Petrona Twin Towers.
Yes.
And
I love this place, by the way.
It's a good-looking place.
It's beautiful, but I don't know if you remember or if you even saw the movie Entrapment, which is an awesome movie with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. This building was a major part of that movie, so it was kind of cool.
So once they got there, they had a choice between two activities on the party scene.
Yes.
Okay, the first choice was Mix Master.
Yes.
Where the teams had to learn how to DJ by repeating 7 sequences they heard on a little DJ turntable.
And it seems like this would be easy, but let me tell you, it was not.
Well, this is true. For the rhythmically challenged, it definitely
for
is an ordeal.
For anybody. I mean, it just seemed overly simple, but then when they started to get into it, you saw with the nerves and with, everything, you could be off by just a little bit.
And then everybody started to boo.
Oh, and then the boos from the crowd.
That was my favorite part. Because I'm an advocate of booing. I will boo, depending upon the venue and the event.
And the circumstance.
Okay?
Yes, you're not an inappropriate booer.
I am not an inappropriate booer. And the second option was Master Mix. And this one, the teams basically had to drop and pour 7 drinks of 2 different colors and consistencies, because one, I believe, was cranberry juice, the other was orange juice, and they had to simultaneously pour those drinks into 7 different glasses at the same time.
This was no joke.
This was hard. When I looked at the raft last week...
You thought that was going to be the hardest?
I thought that was going to be the toughest.
I know, right?
Detour. But man, trying to pour these drinks just right.
And they were on 2 levels too, so you had to have it just exactly in the right spacing.
You had to pour at the right speed,
the right angle,
so that the liquid did not fall along the side of the glass.
No drippage.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It was crazy. But what did you think about the Sky Bar?
It was all right.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever go there. I'm way past club age. See,
well, so am I. I'm not saying I would want to go.
I don't want to be the old guy at the club.
Yeah, I hear you.
Jet and Cord, Cowboys finished first. They did it pretty quickly compared to a lot of the other teams.
Yes, but this is typical cowboy behavior.
Yeah.
They're just fast, and they're good, and they're focused.
Give them props.
Yeah, me too.
Dave and Connor finished second. They basically said that they had been trying it for over 2 hours.
Yeah, that is insane. Just carrying those glasses alone and trying to steady them as you pour.
Yeah.
Doing that for 2 hours?
Nah.
My arms would be like Jell-O.
Exactly.
Ugh.
The Afghanimals, they gave it a shot. Just before the other teams started to come in, they decided to switch over to the DJ booth.
Yes.
They finished third.
But I loved their whole victory dance.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're just hilarious, and no matter what they're doing, I just love their personalities and everything. I enjoy watching them.
Once we got past the top 3, there were a number of concerns.
Okay.
The Globetrotters, for one. They got there.
Flight Time and Big
Easy.
I gotta say.
They got to the DJ booth, and then they tried it, and obviously they weren't ready their first attempt.
No.
And so they went back, worked on it a little more, gave another shot.
And that DJ was harsh. She was like, no.
And it's like...
and then the crowd was like, boo.
Yeah, okay. Now, 1 or 2 times, I understand, but if your stuff ain't working... Invest the energy. They were reaching just a little beyond their grasp. You see? So much so that the Country Girls and Jessica and John actually started after them, but actually finished the event before them.
Yeah, how did that happen? Because the Country Girls, please.
The Country Girls.
I mean, come on.
The Country Girls, they were one and done from what I saw.
Yeah.
All right?
They were on it.
For that reason and for that reason alone, the Globetrotters are going to have to surrender their RBA membership card when they get to the pit stop.
Yes.
RBA being the Rhythmic Brothers Association.
Yeah.
Then we moved back to the bar.
Yes.
And we had Margie and Luke, and we had Brenchell.
Yeah.
And they were working. And
this was hard.
It was very hard. Luke lost it.
Yeah.
To the point where he, dropped the glasses. They crashed all over the place. Mom had to get in there and say, look, we do not indulge in this behavior. You clean that up. And he got the broom.
And he cleaned it up.
So
just so you know, the season that I watched, Luke has kind of a low frustration level.
Low.
So he had done that on the season.
How about no?
He had done that on the season that I watched too. But Margie is always so understanding to a point of what's going on, but then she really lays down the law. She's like, oh no, this is not happening. I am not going to let you behave like that.
Liking Margie a lot.
You better clean it up.
Brenchell, when they arrived at the detour, they said, oh yeah, we're going to do the master mix because, I'm a cocktail waitress and I got this.
And the minute you start to say you got this in any way, it's like you're going to fall on your face.
There you go.
Quickly.
40 attempts later.
Yes.
They were still having trouble.
And I don't know which was worse, the bamboo 47 attempts or the drinks 40 attempts.
Oh, see, the thing is with the bamboo,
I mean, which would just be more taxing on your body?
Oh, the drinks.
That's what I'm saying.
The drinks.
You got to concentrate.
You have to get the speed just right, and you have to make sure that the glasses are curled just so, and you have to get the timing right.
The whole thing.
With the trampoline, you got 8 guys helping you.
Yeah.
And they're counting. You don't even have to count. The 1, 2, 3. I
just thought these challenges were so hard.
That master mix was crazy.
And to have 2 really hard ones like that in a row, in the same leg, I was exhausted for them.
During this, when Margie realized that all of the teams were gone and the only ones left were her and Luke and Brenchell, she actually went to Brenchell and offered, why don't we just stop and take the time penalty?
So what's the time penalty? Explain that to me.
The time penalty is basically if you do not finish a task, you are assessed a time penalty, which is time that's added to your arrival time. So,
but if you've been doing something for 2 hours, you certainly don't want to add that to your...
Right, exactly. Right? But the thing is, you're kind of hoping that it is a non-elimination leg at the end.
Yeah.
So
there's so much guesswork in this game between how do you know which task to choose
and which ones to...
which one is the elimination leg?
Yeah, the best use of the time penalty that I have seen was Amazing Race 7 with Rob and Amber, who had come to the Amazing Race from Survivor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they had one survivor. They came on as a team to be on the Amazing Race. There was a task involving the consumption of 4 pounds of meat.
What?
In Argentina.
No.
Yeah, I believe it was a roadblock.
Oh my gosh.
Basically what he did was he got 2 or 3 teams because, here they are. They're in Argentina. There's this huge plate of food.
Oh my God.
And it's meat. And we're not talking necessarily steak or,
God.
sirloin. There's some stuff in there that
I'm gagging just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Rob asked to find out exactly what the time penalty would be if they did not finish the task. Found out that it was a 4-hour time penalty.
Wow.
Now.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. They had gotten there relatively early, and there were still a number of teams that had yet to arrive.
Okay.
So the goal was, since they'd gotten there, if they took the time penalty, all he had to do was convince one of those later arriving teams to also take the time penalty, and that way he could leave.
Wow, oh, that's good strategy.
Yes. That was the first time that I saw the time penalty used effectively.
See, and as a Survivor alum, so much of Survivor is that kind of strategy. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Brenchell did not want to take the time penalty.
They did not.
They really wanted to finish the task, and they actually encouraged Luke to just take it easy. They were very supportive of him. As a result of that, Luke calmed down. Margie and Luke finally finished the task.
The drink task. And this part of the show, I mean, you know how we feel about Brenchell, right? We both kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, I was kind of a fan in this spot when she was being so encouraging and she was being kind of selfless.
Yes,
and
I agree.
Them.
As long as she doesn't cry, I'm okay.
Oh, and what Margie said in that one clip.
Ripped on her about,
Margie said she thought she was the biggest crybaby ever.
Yeah. As long as Rachel doesn't cry, I'm kind of okay with them.
Yeah.
But the sweatshirts have got to go.
Well, the sequin shorts.
The accoutrement, okay? I really don't care what's in her closet.
And the pantyhose, please!
Yeah.
Leave the pantyhose at the door.
Exactly. They continued. They kept on going. 3 hours and 12 minutes from their start. They finally finished.
Time.
That's a long time. So then the pit stop was at the Batu Caves.
Which was beautiful.
Which is gorgeous. Malaysia, I'm okay with Malaysia because
I would go see that.
Yeah, exactly.
In a heartbeat.
So the Cowboys finished first, Dave and Connor finished second, and the Afghanimals came in third.
Yes.
Country was fourth.
How did they make fourth?
Jessica and John, because I guess they got rhythm.
I guess.
Unlike the Globetrotters, but that's a whole nother story.
How is this possible?
And Brenchell arrived at the mat last, but this was a non-elimination leg.
And I gotta tell you,
I'm glad.
She kind of made me cry.
Oh, wow.
I was like over here sniffling a little bit with her kind of speech about the whole thing. I'm like, gosh, don't make me cry,
really?
Brenchell.
We're invested in not liking you that much.
Exactly. We can't feel for you, respect you, and cry with you all in the same episode.
I know.
It's just not good.
Man, I'm telling you, she's a lot easier to take when she's not crying than when she keeps her pants on. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I will be haunted by that blurred vajayjay for weeks.
Oh, yeah. I'm still not sleeping right. But so the next week, we are going to see, or at least I'm going to see, my first speed bump.
Okay. Now, I sort of remember a speed bump. It's something that you have to do that takes extra time.
Okay.
So you have to complete it, and it has to do with, the leg before. The person who, like I said, arrives latest or whatever, and it's not an elimination round,
right?
They get a speed bump in the next leg of the challenge.
Correct.
So, usually it's something tedious and awful.
Right. Yeah.
I think, honestly, I remember Margie and Luke, I think putting that propeller together was a speed bump. I think so.
Okay.
I don't know why that sticks out in my mind, but it might have been. But yeah, it's not good.
Okay. Nobody got dirty this week, and they didn't have to eat anything disgusting, although Jessica, she got toe up.
She did. Oh.
I'm still pulling for dirty next week. And nasty food the week after.
Something gross.
Yeah,
okay.
because it's coming. I know it's coming.
Is that what we're holding out for?
I'm holding out for the nasty food.
Oh, gosh. If I close my eyes, will you make fun of me?
No, you go right ahead, because I'm not going to be able to see you. So you can keep your eyes open, closed, whatever. Fall asleep.
That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @did_you_watch_it. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.